Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It is an honor to be nominated a film news podcast, and I am, of course, Matthew E. Matthews in the morning.
And joining him, it's me, Smooth Rhys McCain.
And along with Matthew and Rhys, it's me, Beth Stevens, and I'm more mid-afternoon.
Yes, but we're doing the link in to your segment. We're just ending our segment now.
Oh, into my segment.
So we're skipping straight from morning to mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
We had to...
Daylight savings.
Yeah, that was the issue there.
Daylight savings took my grandmother from me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm so sad. But this is the exclusively movie-based radio channel.
For all your lunchtime movie needs.
Exactly. And tell us more about your dead grandmother.
Well, I don't like to talk about it because I don't know if I mentioned this, but she is dead and it's because of daylight savings.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You didn't mention that.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to have brought it up.
Wow.
That's okay. So you know why daylight savings was introduced was for farming, I assume.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, daylight savings got introduced and she lived on a farm when she was quite a young girl. And daylight savings was introduced.
Be very careful, yeah, with the continuity. Of the story, but
hang on, let me explain.
no,
Yeah. Daylight savings was introduced and it created a rip in the time-space continuum. She came to the present day. She lived her life.
Oh, wow.
She had children. She went back to the past and she got back and was shot in the head.
Wow.
Yeah.
All because of
By Father McGee. Yeah.
King of Daylight Savings.
Yes, yeah.
So she did...
It's sort of like the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who style.
Yeah.
Except going forward in time.
Yeah.
Instead of back. Wow.
Yeah.
So-
I haven't seen that, but I assume it's the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she did live like a full, happy life. But
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
for sure, yeah. Otherwise, she wouldn't have had, a child that then had,
did she live a full, happy life knowing that she was going to go back in time and die?
well, the issue was because she was from such a long era ago. She came into the modern day, was extraordinarily racist the whole time that she was here, went back. So she was upset that no one held her values when she came to the modern day.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she went back, it was more of a culture shock. She was like, well, everyone holds these and now this is kind of pedestrian and boring. And then immediately got shot. It was only like a very brief thought.
Yeah, I started off feeling sympathy for your grandmama, but...
Don't feel sympathy.
You also characterized it as she was killed by daylight savings. It sounded like daylight savings afforded her a long and happy life, and then Father McGee is the one who sort of took her from you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
You're correct, yes.
Well, this morning, Beth, before you came in, we were of course discussing the latest release, Times New Egyptian.
Oh, yeah.
The alternate history extravaganza, Ridley Scott, really trying to capitalize on the failure of Gladiator 2 and come back with a even better historical movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen the film?
I have. Yes.
What were your thoughts, Beth?
I thought it was a masterpiece. I think that the thing that didn't work about Gladiator 2 was the fact that it was about Rome, and that's the only thing.
Yeah.
I think that in changing it to Times New Egyptian, moving away from the Roman aspect, I think that they really capitalized on the market there. No one's done anything about Egypt.
No one's done anything about Egypt.
It was the first film about Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, no, that tracks. That tracks. I just checked through the list. No one's done any films about Egypt or Greece or Holland.
It's always been about Rome.
It's always been about Rome, every movie so far. And I guess...
Just to take one example, the Super Mario movie.
Yeah.
With starring Chris Pratt.
All about Rome.
Italian man.
Yeah, and Chris Pratt studied for ages from what I heard about that accent. Yeah.
It's an authentic Roman accent.
Yes, exactly.
Well, he's a dedicated actor and a passionate man.
Yeah.
I remember fondly.
Huh?
Huh? What?
Huh?
No, that's all I've got to say about that.
Okay.
Well, listeners, please.
It's not the late night show.
Oh, if the late night show would get saucy.
Oh,
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
We can talk about sex and things.
Marinade.
Yeah.
What did you say?
What?
Nothing.
Carbonara.
I see you've studied Rome.
Indeed. I would encourage listeners to call in if you have any stories or thoughts about this movie, Times New Egyptian.
Or any saucy encounters with Chris Pratt. Call up.
But we will not put you on air for those ones.
Nope,
Yeah.
that's just for our personal enjoyment.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have a call coming through now, actually.
Let me just grab the old phone.
Click, click.
Hello?
Hey. I have thoughts about Chris Pratt.
Okay.
Hi, caller. You are live on air. And
Be incredibly careful about what you say, please, but go ahead.
Wow, so everyone can hear me?
oh, that's right. And just checking, your name is Elmo, correct?
Yeah.
Any relation?
No.
Where do you live?
Sesame Street.
Okay, just a
I
coincidence,
live
I
at
guess.
122 Sesame Street.
No, that sounds very similar. All right. Anyway, you're completely anonymous here, of course. What do you have to say about Chris Pratt?
I think that Chris Pratt's finest work was in the Garfield movie.
It was in the Garfield movie. I think that the way that he hated lasagna and he loved Mondays was really great.
And you think that was sort of an acting choice on his part?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that nobody's really characterized Garfield before, so.
Yeah.
That was a bold new direction, I remember. He started off in Rome, burnt down most of it,
Mm-hmm.
And-
When in Rome.
went in Rome, and as they say, when in Rome, you have a go.
You have a good old try.
Yeah. No, I literally had a...
And listeners, this is one of your favorite moments. It's a good old Matt tangent. Here we go.
Do I have to stay on the phone
Yes,
for
you
this?
do, Elmo. Yes, you do. Elmo, we have operatives trained on your position. If you hang up,
I was wondering what those red dots were.
we're big fans of phone booth at this radio station, Elmo. So we like to recreate that movie as often as we can. And if you do hang up, or if you try to leave your house, bystanders will be shot and killed.
Please.
So please stay on the line.
Okay.
I had already done the punchline to the bit, so
Had
we
you?
put on quite a tangent. Well, no, I was just saying that a lecturer at university had actually
Really?
said the phrase "when in Rome," pause, pause, pause. Try to remember the rest of quote. You have a go
Have a
awkwardly.
go. You do
but
have a go.
thank you for building that little podium for me to deliver.
Oh, you're welcome. I'd like to hear it. We all love to hear a little Matt tangent in the mornings. But of course, it's the afternoon now. Beth, do you have any questions for Elmo, or should we let Elmo go?
No, I have some questions for
Oh,
Elmo. I think that
great.
Elmo can wait a second. Elmo, I appreciate that you enjoyed Chris Pratt's interpretations of Garfield. I think that was great. What do you have to say about the socio-political, I guess, agenda that was played behind that movie? Well, I think it was a bit alarming in the movie when he directly referenced who he'd be voting for in the upcoming election. And I thought it was a bit weird how they referenced a bunch of privately funded churches as well.
Yeah, because it wasn't any of like the big hitter candidates that Garfield voted for
No.
in that film.
No, it was Jim Crosby.
Jim Crosby. Is that right, Elmo? You sticking with that?
Yeah, because that's who I voted for.
Oh, you like that part of the movie so much that you yourself voted for the same candidate.
I just found it very influential.
And Jim Crosby, of course, just a humble walnut farmer from Tennessee. one of the few walnut farmers still being able to keep their business going in this day and age.
I think we actually have a clip of him finding out that he received 2 votes in the election.
Of course. We've got it queued up from the sound library.
What the hell?
So the stunning scenes there from Tennessee, straight out of Tennessee. That is Jim Crosby finding out that he, in fact, got 2 write-in votes at the 2024 federal U.S. election.
What they don't consider is the fact that one of those votes for Jim Crosby, one of them was Elmo. The other one was not Chris Pratt.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this an exclusive? Oh, no, you know this story as well, Matt.
Well, I don't think you're going to like what I'm about to say, but I was going to say that the vote was from Garfield.
Garfield himself.
Yeah. Yeah. But then now we queue up one of
Can we be sure that it wasn't someone whose name
Was it Andrew Garfield?
such as Andrew Garfield? He's British, so he probably shouldn't be voting in U.S. elections.
Yeah, I think we actually have a clip where Jim Crosby finds out that one of his 2 votes was voter fraud.
Well, that makes more sense.
Incredible scenes out of a walnut farm in Tennessee. There, as Jim Crosby finds out that one of his 2 votes he received was, in fact, voter fraud.
He was devastated. He never ran for office again.
Well, he didn't run the first time, but this is incredible stuff. Beth, what are you going to be talking about for your afternoon? Which movie have you selected?
Listen, I've just watched so many
And Elmo, you may not leave.
I was gonna say, I thought you guys might have forgotten about me on the phone.
No, we haven't forgotten. We want you here.
Okay. Well, my kids are really scared.
You have children.
Yeah.
Are they there with you?
They're next to me on the phone. They were really excited for me to call in, and now they've got red dots on their foreheads.
Well, I can understand it would be quite exciting.
Hard to see the red dots.
What are you insinuating here? Hey, Dad, what the fuck did you just say? What the fuck did you just say to us, Dad? Hello, Junior, they're saying that we can't see the red dots. I don't know what the fuck they're insinuating. What the fuck?
Got red fur.
Okay, wow. We were not. I'm sorry, you're not allowed to swear on radio. We're gonna have to hang up.
What the fuck? You're telling me?
Hanging up. Wow. Can you believe some people? I'm so sorry to all of our listeners. I mean, you threaten someone with death one time, and what do you get?
That's just goes to show what civilization is coming to.
Really, it does. Really, it does indeed. Now, Beth, please, which movie are you discussing? Maybe Matt and I have some thoughts of our own. It's a simple question, and I don't appreciate the
Why are you stalling for time, Beth?
dismissive snorts of derision that I've been met with.
What are you trying to hide from us, Beth?
I watched a terrible film this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. And you do love to cover bad movies on your show.
I do. And the thing is, I would be normally more than happy to cover a bad movie like this on my show. It's just the content of it was so alarming.
Really?
Yeah. And it was so upsetting to behold. And
as
the name.
Long as it's not to do with animal death or Daniel Radcliffe or the 2 combined.
Daniel Radcliffe.
As long as it's none of those.
Oh my
three
God.
things.
I forgot who Daniel Radcliffe was for a second.
I've never forgotten.
Did you think I was talking about someone you knew?
I was just.
I can't believe you'd bring up my friend on this podcast. Wait, that's famous actor Daniel Radcliffe.
My friend's Jeff Stevens. Silly me.
Mine is actually Jim Crosby. Really close friends.
Really close friends.
Yeah.
A walnut farmer in Tennessee.
Yeah.
How'd you meet? Pen pals?
I have a walnut allergy and I had to sue a company for selling me walnuts that exacerbated my allergy.
Was it a walnut company? Were they?
I ate walnuts and it made it worse.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
What the fuck is that meant to mean? Sorry, I know we don't swear. I'm sorry.
No, it's just, for instance, I have a terrible zucchini allergy, and I'm not going out and having zucchini fries from the grilled menu.
Oh. Do you get
Sweet potato.
No. Never mind. The joke's not funny because I forgot the word.
Hey, I wouldn't worry about that.
Courgette.
But it was important to say no to the branch I offered you.
I wouldn't worry about.
I won't give you an up on me.
I wouldn't worry about that kind of fine detail because I just said grilled had zucchini fries, and I don't believe they do.
They do.
They do.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness,
Hell yeah.
What an incredible
They're good.
pull.
Yeah.
They're good.
Do you eat
go down
courgette? Okay. Do you eat courgette fries?
Of course, I love them. I have them every day for breakfast.
Okay, cool.
Why? What do you want? Why do you ask?
Nothing. No reason.
Okay. so
Listeners, I hope you heard that shit.
please.
Sorry,
tell,
not sorry.
tell us about this terrible movie.
Oh yeah,
So,
this
Or
awful.
what you thought we said, what you thought we meant when we said Daniel Radcliffe. I'm happy to hear about it.
I am
I'm
interested in
genuinely.
that.
I'm gonna remove myself from it.
The phone lines are blowing up.
I'm gonna remove myself from it and say I cannot honestly say what I thought you
We're
said.
just getting the caller now. Oi, I want to hear why Beth thought Daniel Radcliffe was so funny. The people of speaking.
Audience and listeners.
Thank you, Bill Gates, by the way. We'll get
Bill
to the bottom of this.
Gates. I thought he was dead. Anyway,
No, he just fell through a time rift and now he's back.
yeah, I thought when you said Daniel Radcliffe that you meant Danny Pudi. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Correct.
from Community, and I can't think about him without feeling some kind of way and some kind of emotions.
And that's completely valid. And of course, we have Danny Pudi Fridays here on Matt and Rhys in the morning. And where we cover all of his work, primarily the interview he did with Larry King.
Yeah.
Larry, I work on DuckTales.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So please tell
This
us about
terrible
the movie.
movie.
Scene.
This awful movie.
It's a basic question.
Beth, this is your show. You should be
Sorry, I'm
prepared.
sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. I know the name of the movie. It really gets me every time I think about it. It was the movie No Country for Young Men. Yeah.
Yes, of course. I did also see that this week.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
Dreadful.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Physical disgust is what I felt.
I know that it was an adaptation of a book by award-winning author Cormac McCarthy.
It was
Yes.
an adaptation of my lunch when I got to see it.
Oh.
Because most of the movie takes place in first-person perspective on an old wooden roller coaster.
Yeah.
So it really does
Yeah.
mess up the old inner ear canal.
I heard that it was based on the book, Cormac McCarthy book, The Road.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see the resemblance, and there's already another movie
Called The Road.
based on that called The Road that I thought did a much better job.
More one-to-one, I would say.
Yeah, well, so
There's a lot less infant cannibalism in this one.
yeah.
Yet somehow it's more disturbing.
Yeah, and they didn't once mention in the book The Road of the wooden roller coaster, and yet that's all they were on the entire
they were
film.
I suppose the roller coaster itself was the road of this film.
Oh. I've changed my mind. I think it was a fantastic
really?
film.
That's all
Yeah,
it
I
took.
didn't understand that part, and now that it all clicks into place now.
I think the chairs moving and like the water spraying from the ceiling worked a lot better in this version of the road than
Yeah.
the other version of the road.
Yeah, where they didn't do that part. Yeah. Did I miss that bit? I did fall asleep in the middle of the
Depends what
road.
screening you go to.
Oh, I went to the screening that they give you a recliner and a massage chair, and
Yeah.
you fall asleep in the middle of the movie, and you wake up at the end.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: when the child is with some people.
Mhm.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Child is with some people in the film. I think you went to the spa experience version of the thing.
Yeah,
They
that
do a
makes
nice
sense.
Facial scrub.
They did. They gave me a massage. It was really lovely. They did give me a pedicure. But they like, they get the pumice stone and they just shaved off a bit too much foot. And for a part of it, I was like getting emergency first aid because they shaved off part of the bottom of my heel.
Great that they include that as part of the package, though.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
first aid,
fantastic.
You didn't have to leave at all.
Yeah, and I can tell all that skin that's on my foot is no longer dead because it just grew back.
I went to the screening where you don't know at any point they might sort of push you off the ledge that you're on. Like they're trying to trick you when you're going to go on the bungee jump.
Yeah.
And they're like, checking ropes the whole time. Like, ooh, it's not going to be for a while yet. And then at some point they push you off.
Oh, look, this is my favorite part.
Yeah,
and then
exactly. And then they get you. They post a lot on TikTok, different ways they trick people. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
But a lot of DMCA takedown requests on those videos because they do have proprietary movies playing in the background.
That'll do it. They should put like a, Subway Surfers video at the bottom. And if they play the music of the Subway Surfers over the movie, it means that it doesn't get taken down.
Because that'll be, they would allow that.
I've often found my bungee jumping experience lacking. If I had known that down the bottom there would be some Subway Surfers after, like at the bottom of the canyon, that would be a nice little treat to look forward to, I think.
Well, that's why I go to the movie bungee jumping.
Yeah.
Because I just need a little bit more of a narrative arc to my bungee jumping experience.
Yeah. I've found that like I don't go to the movie bungee jumping anymore to see the movie. I go to see the Subway Surfers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has gotten like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a shame, even though that's the thing that I said
You
that I
literally just said
Yeah.
But human to be human is to be changeable.
To be human, as my dad used to say, to be human is to have no feathers and be bipedal.
That's right.
Yeah.
And your uncle once came to a family gathering with a plucked chicken and held it in front of your father and said,
Behold.
"Is this a human?"
And we accepted that chicken into the family as if one of our own. Yes.
Yeah, that's Carlo.
Yeah. We are. Yeah. He
Great man.
just started the running for president. Yeah. Went against Jim Crosby.
I think he's set to pick up a few more votes than Jim.
Yeah.
I think we have a clip here of Jim Crosby finding out that he is losing to another presidential election, and this time it's to a plucked chicken.
What the hell?
Or that's a clip there straight out of Tennessee. Jim Crosby there finding out that he did in fact lose the U.S. election to a plucked chicken.
Yeah.
And that's actually future archival footage.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not gonna mince my words. That plucked chicken, not my president. I also live in Australia, so
Your adoptive brother.
yeah, not my president.
Oh, I
Wow.
see. Just because jurisdictionally.
Jurisdictionally, not my president. Yeah.
Interested in the sort of voter fraud that would tempt Andrew Garfield?
I attempted voter fraud once on the Oscars, and that's how Amelia Perez won. So
Amelia Perez did not win.
thank fuck. I was so scared about that. I was really...
I believe it won Best International,
Oh.
but not Best Picture.
Phew. I guess voter
went
fraud's
to
okay then
Andorra.
because it didn't win.
Anora won that one. But this is a good segue into the awards we are covering this week, the category of which is Best Jurisdictional Disagreement. And we like, whenever there's a big awards show on, we like to cover it with the afternoon and the morning show. We take a bit of time in the shared hour to cover the big awards of the week. That's always fun, a fun crossover event for the listeners there. Yes, but which authority is bestowing this award?
The New South Wales Police Department.
That's right. It's the New South Wales Police Department. It was going to be in conjunction with the Queensland Police Department, but
State of Origin was coming up.
There was a bit of a disagreement,
Yeah.
So, shall we jump right into the first nominee?
Yeah. The first nominee for Best Jurisdictional Disagreement is Mad at Gas Car. And that's 4 words. Mad at gas car.
Or mag for short.
Yes.
Why would it be that for short?
Magka.
I guess mine is not to ask questions, mine is just to follow.
Yes.
Bloody thing. Bloody damn thing. Oh, this bloody thing. Oh, bloody hell. What are we gonna do now, Martha?
Jim, I think that maybe you've got a bit of an attitude problem, and maybe the car's not going because you're mad at it.
Martha, what have we discussed in therapy? You're not to tell me what my emotional problems are. That's our therapist's sole responsibility. They will label things.
Yeah.
You can say how you feel. I'm receptive to that, this bloody thing.
I feel.
Thank you for listening.
Oh.
Thanks for coming out
Dr.
on this
Riebowitz.
trip into the Gobi Desert with us,
Yeah.
Dr. Riebowitz.
Hey, I'm a dedicated man.
I feel like maybe the car might go if you stop calling it a bloody thing and call it by its name. Cheryl.
Now, do you see what happened there? You're attributing results to his actions that he hasn't performed instead of working in the sphere of what you can do about the car being broken.
Wow. Call me a gas car because I think you should be mad at me.
Bloody hell, Martha. Bloody hell. Oh, this bloody thing.
I deserve it.
This bloody thing.
Yeah.
Is this good?
This is good.
Is this good, Dr. Riebowitz? This is what you wanted?
This is perfect.
This bloody old...
This old bag.
bag.
That's me.
Yeah, okay.
See, isn't it better now that we're on the same page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Page 93.
Page 93 of my book.
We may as well read Dr. Riebowitz's book. We are not going anywhere.
Yeah.
This bloody thing.
Chapter 8. Why I learned to stop shitting in IKEA toilets and instead to let go.
Now, this one helped me a lot personally.
Yeah.
That was probably, Martha, would you agree? That was probably the biggest problem you had with it.
Huge problem because the thing is he'd sit down and they already have the plastic coverings over the toilets.
Yeah.
So it's just spraying back up.
I mean, it made the drive home unfortunate.
Yeah.
And Cheryl did get upset.
Yeah. Classic Cheryl.
This bloody thing.
Yeah, it's bloody thing.
I'm glad that you found solace in that chapter because I offered no advice, just acceptance.
Yeah, I believe that chapter was just the chapter name and then it moved on to the next one.
Well, you know, it's an eclectic book of information that I thought about writing.
You thought about writing but didn't?
Well, most of the chapters are blank. Most of them didn't end up being written for the final cut, but...
It did feel like more of a sketchbook than anything.
Well, I found that people really need to carve their own way in these things. You can only listen to a person tell you about your experiences for so long before finding out that you are inherently different to what they have dealt with and what their perception of the world is.
That's true.
I just don't know why every page is an abstract drawing of me and Martha fighting.
I think we'll talk about that one, but we'll talk about that one away from Martha.
Well, that seems a bit...
It's just so I can bill you twice for this.
I'm looking at this book and I'm seeing right now my honkers have been drawn in huge in these drawings.
And so cubic.
Yeah. It's like Picasso did this one.
Dr. Riebowitz, you must have noticed that Martha's honkers are rounded, not cubed.
Yeah, if anything,
What
triangular.
we're doing now is we're finding a way to distract ourselves from our feelings about the car or about Martha, and we should.
I feel that whoever would not draw these honkers as big, luscious pillows must be some sort of dimwit that isn't worth listening to, Martha.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, because the thing is, I paid good money to get my little honkers, because they were only little before, and they weren't cubic, they were triangular, if anything.
That's right.
I paid good money for my little triangular honkers to become absolute ginormous are able to float if a plane were to go down in the ocean.
And we've done that.
Yeah, we've done it.
We've
We
used it
saved
as a
multiple
life raft.
people. We had a woman laying across my honkers, and then she had a whole scene with another person in which they said, don't let go, Jack. Don't let go. Yeah.
The Arctic waters.
In the Arctic waters. And I was heated by the love of my husband right here.
See what just happened there?
Wow. This was all a ruse.
Wow.
Wow.
You're one of a kind,
Yeah.
Dr. Evowitz.
Yeah. Well, I must go now. Away.
Oh, he's flying.
That's amazing.
Holy shit.
What are we going to do in the desert, Martha?
Play chopsticks.
Yeah. If one of us has to be eaten, I think it should be me.
I was thinking the same thing, but about you.
I'm flying away.
Oh no! I guess I'll eat myself, much like that Norse snake from mythology. It's like I can hear his voice near me.
It's an incredible clip there. I mean that is, I mean, I wouldn't even say the most exciting section of the movie.
No.
I mean, it's pivotal, but
Yeah.
that, I mean, I would describe this movie as relentless.
It is insane that clip from the movie is within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, we really go on a journey with Cheryl and Martha.
Yeah.
And auto cannibalism.
Yeah.
And yeah, all the various desert characters that crop up along the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think, Matt? Do you think it's a worthy entrant?
Well, I think
Now Matt's always known for his polarizing opinions. That's why he's a bit of a shock jock.
Oh.
So let's see. You know, put
The
your
morning
safety
show.
goggles
The
on.
morning show does it differently than the midday show.
Put your hazmat suit on.
Oh.
This is gonna be
Hang on,
radioactive.
I actually need to put it on. Give me a sec.
We really should. I mean, he has been to Chernobyl multiple times.
I'm in the hazmat suit.
look, I think I'm going to call it how it is. Werner Herzog was phoning it in.
I probably didn't need the
agree, I
hazmat
agree.
suit for that. Yeah, hang on, let me take this off.
That's what everyone's saying on reddit.com/r/movies.
I'm out of the hazmat suit now.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
that's fair.
Thank you.
But, I mean, you know, it's tough when someone who's not a classically trained actor is asked to play a car.
Really, it is really crazy. I think that
Crazy.
I wonder how they managed to go method for that role.
Well, actually, I do know this. I did a little bit of research and I found out that Werner Herzog was, acting as a tractor on Jim Crosby's farm
Oh,
for around 6 months. And we actually have a clip here of when Jim Crosby discovered that.
I'm Werner Herzog. What the hell?
So yes,
Yeah.
that's an incredible clip there of Jim Crosby discovering that Werner Herzog was his tractor.
He still plowed the fields.
He did,
Yeah.
he was
Werner Herzog did a good job of it, from what I heard.
he was a veritable combine harvester.
He's written a blog post about it. He said that he at the end of the day, after tilling the field and plowing the fields, he looked back and saw what was his magnum opus. This was the work that completed him and that he completed. And I think he wept for a full day staring at the field.
Yeah, I would too.
That sounds like a bog standard Werner Herzog story, to be honest.
Yeah. There's nothing
surprising.
about this that could not be true.
Yeah. Well, let's hear the next nominee, shall we?
Oh, yeah.
The next nominee. Sorry, a bit of internet lag there. Lavender Wedding, the musical.
Yeah, a bit of the internet lag on if you're listening to this as a podcast later, because a radio show that gets turned into a podcast, we realized that you just had a buffering issue.
You specifically.
Nothing wrong on our end, but
nothing we could do about it.
Nothing we could do about it because, you check your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, everyone else that's listened to this has actually been okay with the podcast. You specifically, you listening right now.
Listener, we've recorded this just for you.
Yeah. You are having an issue with your buffering. You do need to check your mobile data or your internet connection.
Yeah, what I would do is pause.
Yeah.
Turn the Wi-Fi router off.
Yeah.
Turn it on. Wait for everything to reboot.
Yeah.
And give it another go. Refresh the page probably.
Yeah, yeah. If you need to scroll through to find the time point that we're at 35 minutes. So
ish.
Yeah.
It's impossible to tell with the experience.
Yeah, exactly. Could be worse.
So just to repeat for you at home, the movie there. And only the person who had the issue with the internet just then is hearing this repeated.
Yeah.
Lavender Wedding, the musical.
Ooh, what a good one. Yeah.
What's that? I hear a song is in the air. Someone's getting married and they are almost here. There's something coming, someone quite fair. And off they come to arrive at the place before us now.
Oh my God. I can't believe I'm getting married. I'm so excited to get married. This is my wedding day.
Oh my God. I can't believe I'm getting married. It's fucking awesome. I'm getting married. This is my big day.
Hello, good sir. Hello, good ma'am. I happen to be cleaning this afternoon. When you are done, could you tuck the chairs away? I really don't have time, and I need to get to the next place soon.
Hello, hi there. It is our wedding. We cannot tuck the chairs away.
I don't know if we should be talking to the cleaner. Surely that's the responsibility of the wedding planner.
Yes.
Okay, it's me. I'm just a normal man. I work here Tuesday afternoons and have done since last Jan.
Why are you trying to ruin our beautiful Tuesday wedding?
What is wrong with you?
We had our wedding planned for Tuesday afternoon, so there'd be nothing interrupting it.
Nothing interrupting, and it would be much cheaper.
Excuse me, Mr. Cleaner, sir. I'm the wedding planner. You should not be talking to our esteemed bride and groom.
It's you, my foe. We've met again once more. Haven't I told you this before? Tuesday afternoons must be free. It's the time that the cleaning's done by me.
The very first rhyme of the musical. He did it just to spite me. I have been destroyed by musical talent. I think this is quite frightening.
Oh God, the wedding planner just exploded. Just exploded.
And who do you think will have to clean it up? My shift hasn't started yet.
We'll do our very best to clean this place quite nice. We'll put away the chairs and we'll put away the flowers and the bits of that guy.
We swear.
Said Rhys. It's a thing that gets thrown at weddings.
We're not doing that at ours.
We're actually doing dried flower petals. It's better for the environment.
We don't want wild animals coming along and eating the rice and getting sore tummy.
They might get food poisoning.
It's just a bit of rice, though. They could probably handle it.
But
the rice expands in their stomach.
In their stomachs.
Wow. Not my favorite song from the... not that it's bad. Like, I think it's the... Like, you see the acting on display the most in that one. But in terms of earworms, I think the priest freaking out, Crisis of Faith, I think is the song.
Yeah.
But it also brackets priest freak out. I
Yeah.
think that's the one that I find myself singing the most in the shower.
Yeah, it was also the most poignant, I found. It really just like got to the crux of the message of the movie, which was that if you book a wedding on a Tuesday, you're a cheap bastard.
Yeah.
And
also you probably don't care about service workers.
Yeah, exactly.
I get a massive kick out of mother-in-law's impromptu backhanded speech, though.
Yeah.
That's a good
fun
song.
one.
Very
That's a
good.
fun one.
I feel like the movie itself was quite serious, and then that one just put a fun little little vibe in it.
Look, the clip we saw, not the best music that the film had to offer, but it was
still incredible music.
Yeah,
incredible
fantastic.
music. Everything was slightly better than that. But it is the part that had the most arguments about who was in charge of doing what duties.
Yeah.
So that's why we chose it for this.
Yeah.
I do think that...
That's why the New South Wales Police chose it for this.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, we're just getting these materials from them as well. And...
Yep.
And I realized that I stopped doing my easy listening voice because I was so enraptured by the musical stylings of that lovely lavender wedding.
We didn't record it, but we all sang along as we were watching.
Yeah.
You've simply got to.
You've got to.
Yeah.
I do think that this is now a contender for Wicked Part 2. I mean, for Best Musical of the Year.
Oh, I thought you meant for this would replace Wicked Part 2.
I think this is a contender. Yeah, that is what I mean, of course.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
This could be the sequel to Wicked because they'll look at this and they think, well, we can't really... I mean, it sort of makes sense in a way.
Yeah, it actually
You'd
really
expect
matches
there
up
to
with
be
the
a
end of
wedding
part
in
1.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Like, even if they just hear that clip and know the fact that every other song in the movie is better than that,
Yeah.
like they'd be running scared.
Well, if you think about like the end of Wicked Part 1, it matches up like surprisingly well because Glinda and Elphaba decided to get married, but neither of them had really a huge wedding budget, and so they had to plan for a Tuesday. And I guess it kind of works out well. It kind of plays into it.
It does flow through quite nicely there. Yeah, it really does.
There's another bit of lag there. I think I think what you want to do is after you finish listening to the podcast, if you could just connect to your router, see if you can set up a regular time for it to reset. Maybe Sunday like 2:00 when everyone's asleep, possibly.
And I think that this one, I was going to say this one specifically for you, listener, that you're listening right now. We can tell that you're in a car park and you've just gone a bit too deep, and the concrete is affecting your signal, and so the podcast is not able to be, or the radio show is not able to be continued.
Yeah, you're in a multi-story car park, but you are connecting to your home Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's too far.
That's going to be a real problem. And just if you're not aware, it's going to be 127.0.0.1. That's going to be the IP address you type into the browser bar, and usually the password's something like admin. I mean, if you haven't set up anything different, it should just be that.
I think it's,
But you should change that.
You probably should, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have to connect to the Wi-Fi in order to get to this, but, you might be handing out this Wi-Fi to people that you assume are friends, but are actually
enemies.
Enemies of the state.
Like,
It would be a shame if it turned out that the lag you're experiencing isn't due to anything you've done, it's due to something you haven't done.
such as voting for Jim Crosby in the upcoming
monitoring
election.
software,
Yeah.
could be responsible for lag spikes.
Yeah, and we just have a clip here of Jim Crosby finding out that he's been getting lag spikes in his favorite podcast.
from botnets.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And another clip of Jim Crosby finding out that they're not going to do Wicked Part 2 because of the Lavender Wedding, the musical.
What the hell?
He's really upset about that one. He was there day one, opening day of Wicked. He went to a midnight showing.
Yeah. I saw him there.
Really?
He went to Australia for it.
Well, no, that's
Yeah.
nice. Is that one of the few times you've met in person?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. We tried to go on a date, didn't work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he different in person?
A lot smaller.
We've actually got a clip now of what he's like in person.
What the hell? That's right. I'm Jim Crosby, and I'm running for president.
A clip there of a small Jim Crosby talking about how he's going to be running for president. He's actually making it official this time, which is exciting. But as we know, he does lose that election to
Carlos?
To Carlo, the plucked chicken. That's right.
Chicken.
Of course.
Yeah. My brother.
Sorry.
Adopted brother.
I was gesturing wildly for the producer to bring up the facts for me there, and they did not. So they will, of course, be leaving us after this record.
Yes.
Or you got some more lag, but hopefully that's been fixed by now.
Yeah.
I mean, we've given you all the tools. It's really on you if it happens.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us on Matt and Smooth Rhys in the morning.
Are we going to find out the winner?
Yes, we will. After these messages. Hi, my name's Susan, and I just wanted to send a message out to any big, bulky guys. If you've got a spare hour, I need a tree sort of carried out of my neighbor's yard and into the sea. Please call.
Hey there, this is Kim Tomsby, and who are you gonna get your chestnuts from? Who are you gonna get your walnuts from? Who are you gonna get your pecan nuts from when Jim Crosby is out running his electoral circuit? That's right, you're gonna come to me, Kim Tomsby. Nuts, that's what I'm about.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jim Crosby, and I'm running for your upcoming electoral official, the President of the United States. You may have heard some messages from Kim Cramsby. Her last name is not worth remembering. I want it to be known that if I get elected as presidential official, I will continue to sell walnuts. In fact, we'll make the walnut stock market go up bigger. I'm coming from an approach of that I want to be honest about the mistakes I'll be doing. It's Jim Crosby for president.
After those messages, Walnut Street is going wild. The financial markets surrounding nuts. But now, as promised, we do have the winner.
Nope, I think we're just getting a few more messages before the winner.
Okay.
Just coming right in. Jim Crosby says that he's going to keep selling walnuts. But how is he going to manage quality? Is Werner Herzog going to be doing all the farming? We don't think so. This message paid for by Pluck Chicken.
Hi, I'm Elmo Jr. And I've started a guerrilla warfare campaign against Matt and Smooth Rhys in the morning. They threatened me and my family, so we bought a bunch of AK-47s. And if you want to be part of the revolution, meet at the corner of Sesame and Walnut.
Hello, my name is Jim Crosby. My vice president-elect will be Elmo from 122 Sesame Street. And we're running on a platform of family first and walnuts. Also first, it's a tie.
Jim Crosby says that his vice president is an Elmo from 122 Sesame Street. But did you know that Elmo is still just a child? A child with their own child? Is this the person that you want running your country? Message paid for by Pluck Chicken.
Hi, this is Elmo. Not many people know this, but when daylight savings was introduced, I was ripped forward through the space-time continuum, and I'm actually 84 years old. So just old enough to run for vice president with my running mate, Jim Crosby. Thank you, son, for supporting me.
And the winner, of course, is Lavender Wedding, the musical. Thanks for joining us this week. That's all time we have. And we are, of course, handing over to Beth Stevens for her mid-afternoon show. But before we do, hey, Beth Stevens, why don't you let us know about the favorite? Well, should you tell us about some of your live events you've got coming up, Beth Stevens?
Yes, I have coming up Thank God You're Queer for the Brisbane Comedy Festival. That will be on May 9th.
And an incredible show that is sold out many, many times.
Numerous
sold out the Powerhouse.
Yeah.
Different theatres in there. And so get tickets while you can.
Otherwise, you're not an ally.
What about you?
Those are the rules.
You have anything coming up?
Yes, I've got a show called Called Shots coming out. Nope, this next week.
That's in the past now.
I've got a show called Called Shots that came out last week. That was great. I also have this 25th of April, Nonsense and Sensibility. It's a Pride and Prejudice, Nonsense and Sense and Sensibility, Jane Austen style, a bit of Bridgerton with less sex, but just all silly, goofy, you don't need to know Jane Austen to enjoy. And that's at Big Fork Theatre on 25th of April, 7 p.m.
And Matt, do you have anything coming up?
No, I'm taking a rest.
Love that for you, Matt.
Well deserved. And also good to lay low when the Elmos are coming after you. So, as you always do, Beth, please take the listeners into your drive time show with a quote from your favorite movie.
What movie is it from, Beth?
This movie is The P Knows Too Much. And my favorite quote from that movie was, "Hey, I'm peeing here." And he knew too much about peeing.
Chilling.
Yeah.
So it's a great quote that you use to open every single one of your shows. You're a consummate professional, Beth. It's an honor to share the studio with you, and I hope that Matt and I don't get gunned down by puppets.
Yes, I'm praying for you.
Thank you.